You so much. Good evening and welcome to the City of Lincoln's regular meeting of the City Council. Tonight's meeting will be televised and available on cable channel 18 and via Zoom. This evening's invocation will be given by Pastor Bill Wraith of Christian Life Center. Once the invocation has concluded, Mayor Pearl will call the meeting to order.
Mr. Mayor and City Council people and city staff, thank you for giving me the opportunity to pray, and I appreciate it very much. If you would bow your heads and close your eyes with me. Lord God, thank you for the opportunity that you've given me today to pray for these city servants, these people who serve our community. I pray that you would bless this meeting. You'd give them wisdom and just favor in everything that they do and every decision that they make. Lord, I pray, as I do every time, I pray for the workers that are out in the city that are taking care of us, the police, the fire department, the city workers, all those civil servants that are out in the field, making sure that everything that the citizens of this city need are taken care of and are taken care of, Lord God. And so I just pray that you would protect them, be with them, bless them, and I just thank you for them. I pray you'd be with city staff as they help our city run smoothly and efficiently and make the decisions to run the day-to-day operations of Lincoln. And I just pray that you'd be with them. And again, be with the city council members and the decisions they have to make for our city and to help this city be the best it can be. And I pray for blessings for our city and for the people in this room, protection in your presence. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, President. Thank you very much. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the March 10th, 2026 regular City Council meeting, Lee and Lincoln Redevelopment Successor Agency. We'll call the meeting to order. Ms. Hope, if you would call the roll, please.
Yes, thank you. Councilmember Andriotta.
Present.
Councilmember Reedy. Absent.
Perhaps.
Okay. Councilmember Brown.
Here.
Mayor Pro Tem Eklund.
Here.
Mayor Pearl.
Here. Okay. We'll have the Honorable Elected City Treasurer. Flag of the United States of America. Public for which it stands. Okay, report from closed session. I don't think we.
No closed session tonight.
Okay, and tonight our city attorney, Christine Molikoff, is on leave right now. We do have a special counsel substituting, so Doug White of White Brenner is here substituting. Thank you very much. We appreciate your being here and assisting us. Do we have any agenda modifications?
No, Mayor.
Okay, we do have one. I think, didn't you want to pull the,
Just,
Oh, I apologize, Mayor. Thank you. It's good that you have a better memory than I do. We will be pulling item 9A, which is the tobacco and vape retailers ordinance. We identified a series of issues with some of the language that we need to work on a little more clearly, and then we'll circle that back to the city council at a future date. Are we continuing to a date certain or no?
Oh, if I may, since it has been noticed as a public hearing, we will need to request the council open the hearing. However, we will not be presenting the ordinance or item. So we're not necessarily pulling the item. We are just going to open the hearing and then request if there's any public who wish to make comment on it, they may comment, but then we will ask that we close the hearing and not move forward with any action.
so, very good.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, any other agenda modifications?
Councilmember Reedy just texted, he was stuck in traffic and he's parking, so he'll be here in a minute.
Okay, perfect, very good. Okay, thank you. Okay, we'll move on to presentations. 6A, the Art League, by Janet Filnick.
Yeah. So as Janet comes up, I just wanted to say that, so I got the chance to meet with Janet and Dr. Judy Schmidt yesterday, and we had a really nice meeting and kind of cleared up a couple of concerns that we had on some other matters, and then talked through some of their progress they've made on their programs funded under ARPA, and also the most important, well, as important as the others, the public art component. And so they're here to give you a little bit of an update, and it's pretty exciting. So I'm excited for you to hear it.
Thank you, Sean. Good evening, council members. My name is Janet Phoenix of the Art League of Lincoln. I'm grateful for this opportunity to present our accomplishments over the past year upon receipt of the American Rescue Plan Act funds. I do have a slide presentation here. I don't see it up on the screen. Okay, can we get that? I'm just, okay. And do I have 3 minutes or 5 minutes? I thought I had 5 minutes. Talk fast.
Forward the slide.
Okay. All right. So this is talking about Feats of Clay. Back in 2024, we launched Feats of Clay after a 12-year recess. And it was a regional contest. We had 87 entries, 69 artists. Then we went from regional to national. And so you can see there's a significant increase. And then from this last year to this year, we currently have 389 entries, 147 artists. So you can see the growth trajectory. It's between 25 and 26 alone, it's 18.5%, which is significant. So also with the ARPA funds, we wanted to talk about the fact that we're using the ARPA funds to match our donors, so that creates a consistent relationship with our donors each year. And we have a pretty good following. So that is significant. So just last year, we were able to bring in around 16.5 in donors. Some of it was matching. This year, we're going to get close to that goal. We did have a reception where we had about 200 people attend. This year, we're expecting around 300 people to attend. And it looks like, you know, it's going to be a great show. So also we're doing a street festival for 2026 for Clayfest. And that is going to be on May the 16th. And we're going to be engaging some nonprofit organizations to do some youth art projects. And we're also going to be preferencing local vendors for that. This might look familiar somewhat, maybe not. I was here last March and did a presentation for a public art project with local schools. And this is the result of that. We do have plaques, so you're seeing the back side of them. So they've been turned around. We have plaques, and it identifies the students, the grade, and the schools they went to. So we had the teachers and the principal got involved with that, and we had Leatherby's ice cream, and it was a really great event. And it's also on YouTube if you would like to watch it. Okay, so we're going to talk about the public art project that we're working on now with the consultant. So we recently procured the services of Stacy Ray Thomas of Ray Coaching and Consulting to guide us through this process. And she's been helping us design the program so we can deliver a comprehensive public art program for the city. And this is the first phase. We're about midway through. And we'll begin the second phase in April. And so it's 4 phases, and we expect to have them done by the end of the summer. This is kind of a schematic of what it looks like in lieu of a decision tree. So this shows the flow of applicants that come in, and we would do the screening, and then if it passed muster, then we would send it on to the city, and they would do the further screening to determine if it met certain regulatory guidelines, ordinances, that sort of stuff. And the bottom line is we have an efficient program that we rolled out to the public. It's clear, everyone can understand, and it's got a solid framework. I'll talk a little bit about arts and education in the schools. Last year, about this time, we piloted a program with funding that we received from the state of California and the county of Placer. They funded the program 100%, and we used that for several things. One of them is to go into Phoenix High. We've been there 4 years now. We've helped their students graduate with art credits, which they wouldn't normally have. Also, we've been doing, part of this component is professional development. We're bringing in the artists into the classroom and they're learning how to teach art, which is important. This year, we added 4 charter schools, and we're planning on adding 2 more. And so a significant number of those charter schools have students that are disabled or they're homeschooled, so they don't have access to normal classroom settings. Okay, and then what's moving forward is this last year, we had our 4th youth art show, which was fantastic, and we're having another one this next year. That's a perpetual program that we offer to the community, local schools. We had 2 new venues this year. The library, thank you, city, for offering that for us to use, as well as the county offered the Veterans Hall for us to offer classes. And so we were able to bring up 30 classes online, and that was a pilot program. And most of the students that attended are from the charter schools, which was just something we're just starting at. So we anticipate that's going to be very successful for us in the fall. We also have a class coordinator who's going to be preparing adult classes and also summer camps. And Steve Pagano with the Event Center has offered for us to use some of his spaces. So exciting to put that out. Just to let you know what we do with 1.25 full-time equivalent employees. We have the main gallery, so 6th Street Gallery, have 7 shows a year. We have a Spotlight Gallery, have 8 shows a year. We are currently using the Rotunda with 6 shows. We have 12 receptions that we roll out. Again, we had 200 youth parents and families come to our show in January. And personally, I'm as an arts advocate for representative for Lincoln and Placer County. I've been involved with developing the strategic art plan, which is going to be rolled down to the individual districts once the County Office of Education completes it, which we're anticipating will be done towards the end of the year. So then that will go down to the schools. So that's 3 levels in that pathway. I'm also involved with Regional Arts Organization. Tomorrow night, I'm going to be attending the Heroes event. I've been coordinating with Jennifer Hladden of the Western Placer Unified School District Superintendent's Office on that. We've been doing collaboration on a lot of other things as well. And also I've been active with the Lincoln Serves organization on behalf of the Art League of Lincoln. So how to do 3 minutes? Did I go over?
You're fine,
Any
Janet.
questions?
Thank you for that. What are you doing with the Lincoln Serves? I think that's great that you're getting involved with them, but how are you coming in with that?
So we're working with organizations like Kiwanis. We've been doing quite a few things, planning with them. We're looking at doing we're actually planning a Poetry Out Loud program, and they have the literacy thing, so we're going to be working on that. And then just being there and listening and finding out ways that we can collaborate.
Okay.
It's kind of a think tank,
Yeah.
I think I found it very useful.
Yeah, it's a great group.
It is,
Yeah.
it certainly is. Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Any questions? Great. Thank you, Janet, very much. Okay, next presentation, Jennifer Brown. Yeah, Title II Digital Accessibility Compliance Update.
All right. Good evening, City Council and Mayor. Thank you for having me. I'm here to give you an update on our digital accessibility and compliance. Welcome to my world of unfunded mandates. Most of them have good intentions to start like this one. We just have to get creative on how we solve the problem. And so that's what I'm showing you how we did that here. So today we're going to talk about what is digital accessibility, because that's, pretty broad, 2 big broad terms. What the current laws are and what new ADA Title II does. the key points and deadlines, some exceptions, and our approach. And then we'll give you a demo. So what is digital accessibility? So regardless, all people, regardless of their disability, get access to the same functions, same information, and can do the same functions. We have amazing technology. And, you know, my son has both intellectual and physical disabilities. And I think he's lucky to grow up in this day and age because the information that he's able to access that 15, 20 years ago, people wouldn't have been able to access, and things that he can do now, things that assist him in learning, it's amazing. We've come a long way. And so, you know, I think this is really good steps in continuing that effort and making, you know, the changes positive for people. Visual, auditory, and speech disabilities have always been things that have been within the WCAG standards. Fine motor and cognitive are most of the things that they're adding now. And you can see that because most people are on tablets or on cell phones and they're using their fingers and stuff more, so fine motor comes more into play. And then everyone loves a CAPTCHA. So cognitive disabilities and CAPTCHAs, I mean, you know, you can imagine how hard it would get through those. Just a stat, on average, 1 in every 5 people has some form of a physical or hidden disability. And it seems like that's a lot, but when you look at this list of what the disabilities are, you know, like dyslexia, a lot of that goes unhidden, or it goes hidden and unfound. Autism, language barriers, you know, just not even be able to speak the language when you're trying to access and get information. And then like physical disabilities. So I thought this was a interesting little graph slide image over here to kind of explain what the difference is. So we've always had AB 434, that's been around. You've had federal section 508, which has had 38 requirements for WCAG. Within that was the California Government Code section 7405 and 11. These are just numbers, right? But they all had the same information in them. And AB 434 just said government has to do this. That's what that was. But the ADA Title II that was published by the Department of Justice and gave us this new timeline added the 12 new like things that you have to do to comply to have success, the success factors. And this was passed in 2024, and they gave people with a population of over 50,000 2 years to complete it. Sounds doable, right? So with that, I'll show you what is in those requirements. These are all the people who comply. It's pretty much any kind of form of government, be it libraries, schools, any third-party contractor or software vendor who works with a government agency. And what's interesting is the services that you're providing that have to comply. You know, you go online to make a public records request. That form needs to be in compliance with these rules. You have emergency, or you have educational services. I want to find a book. Those things need to be able to comply. Emergency alerts. You want to sign up to get emergency alerts in your city. Those things need to comply. I'm going to go over the exceptions first because they sound great, right? There's things that we don't have to do. The first one is archived web content. Those would be agendas that were posted prior to April 24th, 2026. And they have to actually be in an archive section of your website, which we do. Then pre-existing documents that don't have, they're not needed for people to gain information. So they're just there for information. That would be an example, might be in a financial report, an archived financial report. Another example would be something that was posted by a third party to a website. So maybe like a community calendar. You don't have control over what information someone's putting into your calendar to post to make it available to people. If they put a picture in there and the picture isn't compliant, then you don't have to change their picture. You can let them post their picture. And then pre-existing social media posts, because we're not going to go back and change those. So our approach was to make the digital content as accessible as possible with our limited staff and resources. Where possible, don't change people's workflows. You know, we have different departments that post things to the website, and to change their workflow or to train them on how to do this is not sustainable for what our staff does. And the cost is a constraint. You can't give someone a blank check to. Some cities are actually paying companies to make their website accessible and make every PDF accessible, and it's costing hundreds of thousands of dollars. So what we did was we found two products. One, we broke it into two pieces. You have your website that needs to be accessible, and then you have your PDFs that need to be accessible. We couldn't find one tool that could do both real well. They both had their strengths. Our PDFs can be complicated. They can have graphs and tables. Tables are really hard for screen readers to read. So if you don't find a accessibility PDF reader that can actually change those tables into something a screen reader can read, then it doesn't work. The other benefit of this PDF tool is if our document is too difficult for the screen reader to read, or the person's not understanding it, there's a live assistant. They can actually contact someone live, and they can be on a call with them, asking them questions, and the person can walk them through what's actually in the PDF, which I thought was really a neat option. So this is where they live. The Recite Me is the little thing on the bottom right corner of our main website, and then the doc access, when you open a PDF, it opens the toolbar on the side. So now I'm going to do a demo. So here's our website, and I just want to make a little note here. Third safest city. We updated it. So old. But so here's our website, and this is the Recite Me tool that I was talking about. And I'm going to go to a page that has some text on it. And I'm going to launch this, which brings up this toolbar. I'm going to turn her off to play automatically because she can get kind of annoying. And so when you click on something,
the planning division provides professional guidance and technical assistance to the.
so then, you can walk through and have her read to you. I have it so that it doesn't go automatically. Right now I have to push play. If
And
I had turned on auto. it
Jen, you
would
picked
go.
the classic Lincoln accent.
Yeah.
Okay.
Totally. And you can change it. Do you want a male voice?
Planning is responsible for managing the order of text to speech.
I love that you picked all the British accents.
Yeah.
It's always my top choice.
So then you can adjust the font size however you would like. You can change the font to something that maybe is more readable for you. You can do the focus text, which is how it helps dyslexic readers read. Yep, you see how it's bold, like on the beginning words.
Oh, I see that. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. So that helps them be able to read it.
Yeah. You can turn it into another language, uses, Google Translate, so it has thousands of languages for you to choose from. You can change the colors. You can, this is something I think is really cool. This is for people with like ADHD. If you have a page with a lot of text, you can walk down it. So if you want to see the page structure, it gives you like how everything's laid out on the page. They have dictionary, right? So like maybe you have an intellectual disability and you don't know what administering means. So it'll get up well, that didn't work. It tells you what development is, and it gives you a definition of what that is. Live demos are really fun. I'm just going to tell you right now. And then Page Summarizer is an AI tool that they use. And this is really neat because what it does is it'll break down the page so that it's not as, doesn't have so much information on it. So it just gives you kind of the key bullet points of that page so you don't have to read the whole thing. So I'm going to go back to our website, turning off the Recite Me toolbar. And then I'm going to pick a development plan because they are really complicated and long and lots of words, and the PDFs are hard for screen readers. Just to give you an idea, like to make a PDF accessible, things that they think about are what the order is of everything. When something is all caps like this, it thinks that's an acronym, so it's going to spell it. It doesn't read it. So you have to take all those things into considerations when you're using capital letters and acronyms, and there's so much that goes into a PDF. But what I'm going to do is this is a really good example. So this is a table that's like when you're looking at it and you're reading it, it might take you a few minutes to go through it, but you can understand what it's telling you, right? So, but a screen reader wouldn't be able to because it doesn't know the colors. Like it's not going to be able to say this is a separated color and it has these columns and that kind of information. So you can turn this into an accessible view. And what that does then is it breaks it so that it's easier for a screen reader to read. And then it's telling you that this page is really complex, and the screen reader will read this to the person. It's telling them that it's really complex, and use live assistance if you want. It's on the sidebar. And then we can walk you through on what this table means. And so it has I think it has really neat things if you wanted to translate it into another language. And I don't know what language that is, but you can, it translates everything. It'll do it for PDFs where they're fillable forms. So if someone is filling out a form for new utility service or something, they can change it into another language.
Back to the summary part, like how the AI will summarize, is it able to do that on every single page or even just a specific area? Can you show really quick how to do that again?
Yeah. So if I turn on the Recite Me toolbar, and she's probably gonna know she remembered. And if I go to, let's go to a page that has, I need to find a page that has some good information that's, okay, so this talks about sewer rates and everything, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to simplify the content. And what it does is it says, so I have to turn, let me close this one. So what it does is it takes all the information that you had and it just does like a bullet point of it. So it says it's not going to summarize this page because I'm in a live demo. I think I'm in simplifying. So it's trying to simplify everything as I visit it. I don't know. It worked for me this morning.
Yeah, that's okay.
But so that is where we are with the tool. We've actually met and exceeded compliance. We are also doing all PDFs, so any agendas, even that are archived, they'll show up in that doc access, and you can do all the same stuff with them. I want to take 1 second to give some major kudos to my admin, who's right there. And she did this.
Wow.
I gave her this project and she ran with it and she implemented the whole thing. And she did an amazing job, and we're lucky that she's here.
How many hours do you think it took for you guys from combined start to finish? Ballpark.
You have to talk.
Been 2 hours, so.
This
Hi.
is Clarissa.
Nice to
Hi,
meet everyone.
Clarissa.
This project took many months of meeting and fine tuning things, so yeah, it took a while.
Wow,
Yeah.
very impressive. So useful. So every jurisdiction's going to have to comply to the same thing. Is it this, sorry if I missed you saying that, but is this the same software that everybody uses, or is it, they're all kind of a variation of this?
So people are taking different approaches. So a lot of people are doing training of staff to get their staff trained to create their pages in compliance, which is not sustainable. Like that, there's so many little things that you have to worry about when you're making these pages. I mean, the color between, blue on white is okay, but blue on yellow might not be okay. So like contrasting of colors and colors, there's just a lot that goes into it. Fonts, so.
Well, I am thoroughly impressed with your
So-
implementation. I love this kind of stuff.
More and
Jen,
more.
I'm really feeling my age, let me tell you. You have comments?
Yeah, I was gonna say more and more, I am finding how useful AI is. So my question to you would be, how often did you use AI in your quest in the last months to put this together?
Well,
And hopefully the answer is a lot, because I find it to be very useful.
yes, so we use AI for doing all kinds of things. This is for, what's really nice about the AI for this is it's on the fly, just a public information
Right.
simplification. It does say that it's been translated or, been queried by AI, so there's that piece to it. But, I mean, yeah, it's a tool that is going to be useful when used correctly.
Right. Well, and that's kind of what I was getting at. You don't use AI to do your homework for you, but it's kind of like what Google used to be, right? Where people were like, oh, this is so, or whatever it's going, but it was a very useful tool, and this is going to be the same.
Mhm.
Mayor, if I may, just wanted to, little bit of praise. So, because I spent a lot of time talking with other cities about things like this, mandates that we have to comply with and timelines. One of the things I'm really proud of is I can tell you, I won't point out who, there are many other jurisdictions that aren't anywhere close to getting to a compliant level. We've been there at times with things that we need to do by a deadline and we just couldn't practically do it. So just wanted to thank Jen and her team that we're ahead of this curve, big time.
I am not surprised, and you're not allowed to go anywhere.
Thank you very much.
Okay, any questions from the audience? Here? Oh, do we have anyone on Zoom? Thank you, Jen.
Yeah,
Once
thank
again,
you.
Superb, absolutely
So
superb.
impressive. I'm going to brag on that later.
Okay, we'll move on to public comment on non-agenda items. All speakers will be limited to 3 minutes unless extended by the mayor. All comments or questions should be addressed to the mayor, and in most cases, the city council is prohibited from discussing or taking action on any item not appearing on the posted agenda, but may engage in brief discussion, provide direction to city staff, or schedule items for future meetings. Hope, do we have anyone, do we have any cards today?
We do, thank you. We'll go ahead and start with Stan Nader.
Mr. Mayor and Council, my name is Stan Nader, and I live in the 12 Bridges area. The last time I spoke with you, I was highlighting the importance of the city placing a half-cent sales tax measure before the residents of Lincoln in support of public safety. As I stated, the city has made many promises to the men and women who serve and protect our community. It's time for the city to deliver, like a new police station. The city has provided a very nice facilities for the city's firefighters, and it is time for the police officers to receive the same treatment. In the late 80s, the city's police station was located behind the downtown Civic Center in a modular building about the size of a shoebox. From there, they were moved to the old City Hall at Bierman Plaza. And from there, they were moved to the current location at 7th and H, which has required numerous renovations. There was, at one time, a plan to locate the police station next to the courtyard at the airport, which never came to fruition. I realize that finances are tight at this moment, but it would do the city well to put a solid plan in place to provide a police station that this community deserves, given the expanding growth of our community. Thank you.
Thank you, Stan. Anyone else?
Yes. Next is Stella Greenhouse.
Hi, Mr. Mayor. I live in downtown Lincoln. I was, just wanted to make a public comment about the tax sharing agreement and the conversations we had last year. And just want to make sure we keep a thumb on that to ensure that as we go forward in developments or negotiations, that we are negotiating for what we're due, what we're eligible for, and what we should receive as a city. So I just wanted to put that back out there as we don't forget, and also as we go to recoup some of the inequalities, I think is the term that's there. So just wanted to bring that to the attention. Thank you.
Thank you. So the discussion goes on. Thank you very much. Open, anyone else?
No one on Zoom.
And no one on Zoom either. Okay, very good. So we'll close public comment over there. Consent calendar. And council, any of my colleagues want to pull an item? Staff? Public comment.
Thank you, Mayor. I do have several cards. First one is from Stan Nader regarding item 8D.
Mr. Mayor and Council, 6 months ago, the city manager announced that the staff would be bringing forward the 2025 Water Master Plan update for council consideration. He indicated the discussion between the staff and the council would be robust and mind-numbing. After reading through the document, that was not an understatement. I found the most chilling realization was that when I studied figure ES-1, which shows the city's max day demand exhausting the city's current available water supply, including water supply coming from groundwater. From the chart, it appeared this will occur at the 15-year mile marker from the date of the update. That may seem like 3/4 of a generation from now, but when one considers the time it takes to complete environmental reviews for projects, including moving entitlements where needed, planning and design of projects and construction, and most of all, being able to pay for all this. Today is not too early to start preparing for the future, given there is not a patch of dirt that is not being built on in the city. The chart that should catch everyone's attention is in chapter 10 of the update, which shows existing funding requirements to be $7,186,000 and the 5-year need to be $100,349,000 and the build-out cost coming in at $500,539,000. If that doesn't take your breath away, I don't know what will. The update has considerable discussion around the use of groundwater wells to augment the city's water supply. There is a potential challenge to doing this, which includes the state wanting to control how much water can be drawn from groundwater wells. 2012, an aquifer water level depression was identified near the city and still exists until today. There are some land subsidence, and some areas have elevated levels of boron, gold solid, dissolved solids, and nitrates. This clearly, I will have further comments in the future.
Thank you, Stan. Any other comments?
Stella Greenhouse would like to comment on 8E and 8J.
Yes, the McBean Pool, I just wanted to call that out. It sounds like we're doing some focus there, and as we near the summer, I think it's really important that we think about the community overall in regards to accessing it. When I went to the pool this last summer, I took my 14-year-old at the time, and then my 3 other kids, all a year younger, to try to check them in and have them swim at the pool while I got some things done at the house. And there was like a rule against it. So I just wanted to talk to the staff through you, Mayor, and see if we can understand how we make that accessible to the community. Someone there had said that 5-10 years ago, it was much easier for the kids to go and use it. I think that it would be an attraction for our local residents. And if we can really look at the management of the pool, I think we have a great training program for the lifeguards, and I think we have a well-staffed team there, but maybe why it's underutilized is some of the restrictions, or how do we make it open access so that more kids can have something to do over the summer? So thank you.
Thank you, Stella.
I had another comment on there, which was Jay, was it Jay? Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's the community center park. I just want to tell you guys, I'm really excited about it. So good at Go Get It team, and appreciate getting extra funding from the county, and I look forward to seeing that that come into fruition. So go get it. Thanks.
And we will.
We will. Thank you.
I don't see anyone else in the audience with comments and no one through Zoom.
No one's on Zoom? Okay, very good. Bring it back to the council. Any comments at this point? Okay, very good. Call for motion.
I'll move. I'll second.
Okay, good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nope. Good. Very good. Thank you very much. Okay, moving on to public hearings. Now we can make the adjustment.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor and City Council. And again, this has been agendized as a public hearing, so we would just state for the record that no draft ordinance is being presented at this time, and we are not requesting any additional access by council until staff has an opportunity to provide further review and input and bring back a draft ordinance. But however, because a public hearing has been noticed, we ask that you open the public hearing and take any comment that may be available.
Thank you. Okay, we'll open the public hearing. Public comment. Rising.
Hi, Stella Greenhouse in downtown Lincoln. So I came at the first public meeting hearing for it, and I shared something very personal that's happening in my house and why I was excited to see this topic be discussed in our city. I really appreciate what the council, I think you guys might have heard me from the gallery speaking about, thank you for putting this off and sending it back to the staff. I did have a chance, Councilmember Reedy, to take a look at the ordinance, so I appreciate the team of our council members doing that, Mayor. And in regards to the ordinance, first off, I kind of just searched, Mayor, who else has tobacco, vape, regulations. And I found that Beverly Hills had one existing for like the last 6 years. And so I kind of looked at it and compared between what their ordinance was and what we are. And I agree with the council's conversation that this ordinance isn't going to solve the problem we're having. And I think that it's good that the staff wants to take it back and take a look at what the council's direction was. More so, I do understand this kind of like 3 1/3 football field, 1,000 yards or feet that we're looking to do. But where my comment comes in is we're wanting to, I think, we as a city are wanting to be a destination city, having events and having things to draw public into our city. And so when people come to visit, they might want to buy those kind of products, and we need to be able to vend them as a city as well. But specifically on the ordinance, there was one section on compliance monitoring that I thought that the Beverly Hills had really nice. The Beverly Hills, a city, had compliance monitoring where they actually listed that they might have a youth go out and like test out the waters for whatever that may look like. So I thought that was a difference between us. The other thing that I tabbed on the Beverly Hills one was in regards to about no person that's vending that's under the age of legal age to purchase, that they should be vending. And I think that makes a difference for our schools that might be combating kids that might be retailing on these campuses. But one thing, and I got a minute left, that I didn't really like in our ordinance, and I'm going to say it here, is this comment about severability. And I believe we pay our legal team very well, hundreds of thousands of dollars, that they should be able to protect us constitutionally. Constitution doesn't change. So we had this like pardon in the ordinance that said, if anything's deemed to be unconstitutional, we are sorry. But I don't think that we should ever be sorry and compromise our Constitution. Anything we put forward should be straightforward to the Constitution. So that's in there actually twice, at the beginning and at the end of it, Mr. Mayor. And then the last thing, in the amount of locations, I think that, thank you.
Thank you, Sala.
No other comments.
Okay. Any comments from Zoom? Okay, good. They'll close the public hearing.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And again, we're just not requesting any action at this time, and we'll come back at a later date.
Time to be determined. Very good. Thank you very much. General business, 10 Alpha, adopt a resolution amending and restating special assessment and community facility district goals and policies. Ms. Racker.
Okay, I'll just start this off, and then I'm going to hand it over to our bond counsel, Brian Forbath, who is online. But I just wanted to briefly remind everyone that our current policy is very, very old, and we have been working to update it for a period of time, and communicating with council, doing workshops, public outreach. We've also connected with our development community. In fact, we have done so much work to partner on this with the development community, but still build a strong policy that preserves the community, preserves the city, that our local representatives from the BIA, you will notice, are notably absent. And that is because they agree with the intent of the council for this policy. And it's, I think, a ringing endorsement that we are partnered with them in a way that protects us. And with that, I'm going to hand it over to
And
Brian.
kudos to the staff. By the way, how long has that policy been in existence? I remember when I read it, it's a long time.
Yeah, I think it's, Brian, help me out. Was it like 50 years old?
That's what I thought.
1987 was originally drafted, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there was a policy directive in 2018 that related to some services, CFDs, but the original policy dated back to a long, long time.
So a little out of compliance with current law.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed.
They were just
Yeah.
buttoning things
Uh,
up.
Yeah. Good evening, Mayor, council members. Brian Forbath, thank you for allowing me to zoom in this evening. I really appreciate it. I think Nita did a good job setting the table of how we got here today. Just remind everybody in the audience that we first showed up with the draft policy back in March of 2025. And at that point in time, council directed staff and us to reach out and share that policy with the business community. That was done. The council held a workshop on October 23rd, 2025. And at that point in time, we received some policy direction from council and, Nita and myself and Councilman Reedy went back and sort of fine tuned some of that direction that we received from council. And that's reflected in the red line of the policy that's before you this evening. If you have that red line, that really shows sort of the changes from the workshop. And I'll briefly summarize those changes. I think, the first significant change was just the direction that the council's not going to allow for the financing of deferred fees, particularly the Sparta fees. The second piece of this would be that there's a maximum 40-year term for any of the special taxes to be levied on property. A prohibition against the concept of transition events where the facilities tax transitions after 30 or 40 years to a services tax in perpetuity. Again, there's much discussion we had about conduit issuers, and the policy allows for the use of conduit issuers for developments under 150 units. And if they're over 150 units, the consent of the city council is needed prior to proceeding with that on a conduit issuer basis. And then I think pursuant to council's directions, and maybe it was the city managers also, there's a provision in here that says that, essentially staff's got 90 days to present the request to the developer request to council for consideration. Another aspect of it, of the policy changes, is limits on pay-go to developers. Essentially, developers are entitled to pay-go really only until the first series of bonds, or if there's a multiple series of bonds, until the final series of bonds is issued, just so that there's not a fluctuation in the levy of taxes on homeowners, and it's intended to stay levied, but not allow for pay-go on a long-term basis to developers. And it only allows the city to collect pay-go for infrastructure which it determines to be a public benefit infrastructure, something that benefits more than just the development itself, but the larger public benefit. And then another aspect that's memorialized in the changes is that any refunding of CFD bonds, the savings that's generated from the savings generated from that refunding would inure to the benefit of homeowners and not be like a cash out refunding where we take those savings and then monetize it for more public improvements. And then again, I think the final one really is just that the city would not allow what we would call wraparound debt service financing on future series of bonds, where, if the first series of bonds went out 30 years and had level debt service or debt service that slightly escalated, say 2% a year, we wouldn't, 2 years later issue another series of bonds for 30 years that the last 2 years had, giant debt service to match what the previous bonds were. And I think that was all sort of direction that we got at the workshop and working through staff and with Councilmember Reedy to sort of finalize and what's reflected in the red line before you this evening. With that, I'm more than happy to answer any questions you all may have.
Thank you very much. Comments or questions from the council?
I'll just make a comment. I know how much work and discussions and deep dives everybody went into this, and I think this is such a win for homeowners that there will be an end eventually, and it's not just a continuation of payments and perpetuity. So this is really beneficial for homeowners, and I'm really glad again that Nita confirms that we've got partnership and everybody's on the same page.
Agreed. The fact
Done.
that the Building Industry Association is not here, says just great things about the staff and how well everyone worked together.
Yeah, in fact, I saw him just this afternoon and confirmed everything was all good. And he's like, I can send a letter saying we support it. He's like, but I think it's, we support it. You can tell them we support it. At the last regional BIA meeting, in fact, Jeff Schwartz was defending the policy to the rest of the development community in the room and telling them, extolling its virtues. I called him out. I said, "Are you supporting me right now? What is going on?"
That is not happenstance.
Take the win, Nita.
I did. I took it.
John?
No, I just want to thank Brian and our partners in the development community and the staff. We got to a good place, and I think it'll serve Lincoln for a long time to come. So thank you.
Cool. Anyone in the audience wishing to speak on this subject?
Mr. Mayor, I have a speaker card from Stan
Stan.
Nader.
Mr. Mayor and Council, when the council previously discussed CFD management, there was a conversation about bringing that in-house. In reading the staff report and the goals and objectives in the resolution, it did not appear that this matter was being addressed at this time. My question is, am I correct in my assumption? Also, I noticed that something no longer appears in the staff reports, and that is report accountability, which states that this report has been reviewed by the city attorney for legal sufficiency and the city manager for content. I went back to a council meeting, February 11th, 2025, to find that language. I will assume that this agenda item does comply with that verbiage. Thank you.
Thank you, Stan.
Did you want me to respond to that?
Yes, please.
Okay, so I will affirm that the city is managing some additional CFDs in-house. In fact, we did 2 this year that were, well, I'm sorry, apologize. 1 that was interior as kind of a pilot case to determine that we had systems in place to develop those and to manage them effectively. That has proven to be successful. So that is the case, right? That the policy does say that over a certain size, they can still go out to Bold with no problem. If they are a larger size and want to use a conduit service such as Bold or Skip, they can still do that. They just need the approval of council, which we would support if someone wants that. We'll bring it forward and say, here's why, and here's the reasons. And so that's easy peasy. And as for the change in the agenda item format, we have an electronic approval system. So in fact, I had this conversation with our auditors with our new finance system. We have an electronic approval system within our agenda management process. And so these written hand approvals are no longer required because there is an electronic footprint of everyone who touches the document and approves the document.
All right, moving forward.
Yeah,
Sean?
I'll just add a couple things in reverse. I won't say that there isn't periodically a report or so that's very routine in nature that I don't read every single word of, but virtually everything else I have eyes on and legal has eyes on before it ever clears to get onto an agenda. So that, but I think the point is well taken that I think Mr. Nader's comment is that language reinforces to those people in the public that, hey, somebody's look at this. The reality, though, of course, is that if that wasn't the case, we have a pretty attentive community in council that would be calling us out on that, I think, pretty quickly. As it relates to in-house CFD management, one other thing that Nita didn't mention is whether or not Bold makes sense will end up being a very interesting kind of policy discussion for council on a case-by-case basis. Remember that early on when we had this discussion, some of the initial feedback we got from the building community was, look, we don't mind if you were to be the ones who manage these CFDs in-house, but our concern is that, Lincoln has a kind of lighter staff compared to most other agencies, and do you have the capacity actually to do this? And there's a fair comment. So the pilot one that we did this year, we actually challenged one of our developers who wanted to go through Bold, and we said, let us do a sales pitch to you. Can you let us try it this time? And if it's a huge embarrassing failure, you're going to tell everyone it is. And then we obviously won't ask again. But that didn't happen, actually. I think we ended up beating some timelines and the flexibility of working through the process directly with a person that you can go see every day, like Nita. What I heard back was that they were very, very happy with the service they got. And so our theory is that the council could certainly choose to force developers to do that. We think we're actually going to provide a better service. And so they're going to choose willingly to do it because it'll be probably less expensive, quicker, and more kind of abject local control. So we'll see what happens.
Perfect. Thank you very much. Good comments. Yep. Just shows our wonderful finance staff. Hope anyone else? Anyone on Zoom? Good. Thank you very much. We'll bring it back to the colleagues for any comments, final comments. If not, motion to accept.
I'll move to adopt.
Second?
Okay. Favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Oh, good. Okay, perfect. Very good. Thank you very
Well
much.
said.
Yeah, a great win, Nita. Without a doubt. 10 Bravo, adopt a resolution authorizing staff to file reports with the Governor's Office of Land Use and Climate Innovation and California Department of Housing and Community Development and review and accept the 2025 General Plan and Housing Element Annual Progress Report. Efren Sanchez.
Thank you. Good evening, City Council. Efren Sanchez, Senior Planner with Community Development Department. The item we have before you is the 2025 Annual Progress Report, which is a report designed to monitor the city's implementation of the general plan. State law requires that each California jurisdiction prepare an annual progress report. The same state law requires that the APR be presented to the local legislative body for review and acceptance prior to submitting to the Governor's Office of Land Use and Climate Innovation, LCI, and the California Department of Housing and Community Development, HCD, by April 1st. The housing element portion of the APR is prepared through the use of a standardized Excel workbook adopted by HCD, which is why it's been included as attachment number 3. In addition to state law, the City of Lincoln General Plan Policy LU 8.1 requires staff to share the APR with both the Planning Commission and City Council annually as part of a procedural matter. The City of Lincoln's general plan has a total of 109 implementation measures across 7 elements. The table found on the slide is a summary of the progress the city has made towards implementation. Additional specific information about this implementation measures can be found in attachment 1. 16% of the implementation measures are completed, 65 of them are in progress, and 19 are yet to be initiated. The 2008 general plan guides the orderly development of the city with a planning horizon of 2050, representing a built-out population of 132,000 residents. This slide is a summary of the information available in the housing element portion of the APR. In 2025, the city permitted 411 dwelling units. Of those, 12 were ADUs. Currently, we're in the housing element 6 cycle, which spans from May 15, 2021 to May 15, 2029. The state has assigned the City of Lincoln a RHNA of 5,120 units. To date, the city has delivered 2,886 housing units towards meeting the RHNA targets, which leaves us the remaining balance of 2,287 units by the time we reach the end of the housing element 6 cycle in May of 2029. RHNA numbers themselves are planning targets, not direct build quota, so the state generally does not fine or penalize the city simply because the market did not produce enough housing at those income categories. Serious consequences are only triggered when the city fails to adopt and maintain a compliant housing element and fails to plan and zone enough land to accommodate its RHNA, which can result in reduced local decision-making authority, including builder's remedy, increased litigation risk, and loss of eligibility or competitiveness for certain state-funded programs. As you can see here in the table, this past year in 2025, we were able to build 411 dwelling units. And of those, most of them, 396 were at market rate, and then 15 of them were affordable. As part of the Housing Element Annual Progress Report, APR, I reviewed permit records for 411 dwelling units and classified each unit into 5 HCD affordability category. For ownership units, HCD's affordability thresholds indicates that homes priced above 411,000 do not qualify as affordable. This is difficult in Lincoln because the average sale price is about $319 per square foot. At that rate, a home would need to be approximately 1,200 square feet to be priced at or below the moderate income affordable threshold. For rental units, ADUs and one-bedroom apartments are typically rent for about 1,600 to 2,255 per month. Based on these rents, the units that meet HCD's affordability thresholds in our APR documentation were primarily ADUs, including such as garage converted ADUs. So this table here, as you can see, there we go. The first 4 categories are affordable, and then this category here on this row, that's market rate. So I have a breakdown of what those would be classified as affordable. Right here where it says AMI, that's the area median income. For a family of 4, that's $120,800 a year. And so anything above this 411,000 is essentially market rate. So that's where like the cutoff is. So it's really hard to create affordable housing when all new construction that we're building is, above that. So that's just wanted to state that. So that leads us to our recommendation. Staff recommends the City Council determine that the General Plan and Housing Element Annual Progress Reports are not a project under Section 15378 of the CEQA guidelines. Review and accept the 2025 General Plan and Housing Element Annual Progress Reports, and adopt a resolution authorizing staff to file the reports with LCI and HCD by April 1st. That concludes my presentations. Let me know if you have any questions.
Open it up to my colleagues.
Okay, thank you for that, Efren, really appreciate it. Did I understand you correct that in this RENA cycle from 2021 to 2025?
2029.
Is that the years?
Yeah, 2029, sorry.
So, I'm sorry.
8 years.
So when's the final year?
May 15, 2029.
29, okay, thank you. When I was looking at the chart, I thought it was 25 and that confused me.
Oh, no, sorry about
Because
that.
because we're only like halfway there, right?
Yes,
Okay,
we're
that's, I just wanted to clarify.
We still have these
I mean, not
columns.
that I really care what the state thinks, but I just was wanting to make sure I had my numbers correct.
Yeah.
29.
Yeah.
Okay, it's 8 years. Yes, I knew. Okay.
Correct.
I thought I saw 25 on there and that confused me. Okay. Thank you for that presentation. I really appreciate that.
There was an amazing amount of information in there. Thank you. I went through that. Yeah. Ben?
Yeah, we're doing, I believe, a lot better than other communities when it comes to not just meeting the numbers, but doing our best to make it affordable.
Well, we're doing whatever we can, and as much as we can, absolutely.
Well, and at the right rate too, because as much as the state wants us to build tons, responsibly, and I think we're doing.
John, anything? Okay, good. Take it out to the audience. Do we have any cards? Anyone? Sella?
Stella Greenhouse, I still live in downtown Lincoln. I just wanted to get a chuckle in, but I did really want to say, Mr. Mayor, how important the general plan is. And I took attention to it, and I kind of got a superficial understanding of the general plan and how hard the team and our staff is working on updating it and asking the appointed as well as elected officials in the city to give input. So I just want to exhort our council to try to wrap your head around this general plan work that's been done, what needs to be done, and go forward. If you have not had a chance, there's a lot of topics, Mr. Mayor, that you guys are to deal with. But this general plan and this update and revision they're going through is very robust. And you saw the update that he said of all the things they've already completed and what's going forward. in one of his slides. So I know that it's something that's on my mind to come back and look at as a public person and providing feedback as possible. But I really appreciate all the work the staff's been doing and the attention they've been putting on this general.
Thank you very much. Anyone else in the audience would like to comment on this item? Okay, Zoom?
No one through Zoom.
Okay, very good. Final comments from my colleagues? Holly?
No, I just appreciate all the work. That's good. Thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay, very good.
And we're just accepting the report.
I think is that it? We're just accepting the report? Do we have to, do we have to take a motion on it? We do. We do have to take a motion?
Okay, then I move to approve the report.
Do we hear a second? Ben, thank you very much. Okay. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No? Okay, very good. Carries. Thank you very much. Everyone, thanks you very much. Excellent. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Okay, 10 Charlie, adopt a resolution approving the salary schedule for the newly established senior property and evidence technician classification. Veronica.
Good evening, Mayor, council members. As outlined in the staff report, the city recently established the Senior Property and Evidence Technician classification for the Lincoln Police Department. Previously, this series consisted of 2 levels, the level 1, which was entry, and level 2 journey. The series did not include an advanced level to provide technical leadership and independent decision-making. So the police department currently has 1 property and evidence technician 2 and no additional dedicated property and evidence staff. The department's operational needs require an advanced level role to handle complex evidence work. The current incumbent that holds the 2 level possesses the knowledge, skills, and abilities to perform at the advanced level. Establishing this senior level will allow the department to allocate the current incumbent to the appropriate level. In accordance with the city's municipal code and CalPERS regulations, staff is recommending approval of the proposed salary schedule for the newly established senior property and evidence technician classification. And the estimated cost of this proposal for the remainder of this fiscal year is $3,223, which can be absorbed, it's $3,233 and can be absorbed within the department's authorized budget. This concludes my presentation. I can now answer any questions you may have.
Thank you, Veronica. Colleagues? No, I think it's very good. But on an annualized basis, what would that be, Veronica, roughly?
Approximately, I think it's $30,000.
Absolutely critical. It's
No,
money well spent.
13,000. Sorry,
13,000. That's better.
13,000 per year,
Okay.
sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Very good. Okay, move it out to, do we have any cards?
We do. Thank you, Stella Greenhouse.
Hey, Mr. Mayor, just a comment in regards to this position. Sounds wonderful, and it's good to know that we're adding classification for that position. I didn't know if that means that we have classification if we ever need to expand from 1 person to 2 people or 3 people, and that she can have some support, or he or she can have some support in that role. And then just another thing in regards to adding roles to the police department, I think that one time during budgetary, they talked about adding dispatch. And so I just didn't know if she could also speak on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else in the audience wishing to comment on this item? Do we have anyone? No. Okay. Anyone on Zoom?
No one through Zoom.
Okay. Thank you very much. Final comments from my colleagues? Nope. Very good. Accept the motion.
I move approval.
I'm sorry. Say again?
Wants her question answered.
Oh, which question was that, Sullivan? Come back up, please, and just repeat the question.
By creating the classification, does that allow us to grow as a department to add secondary or 3rd people in the future? And then also in regards to the police department, maybe adding a dispatch, that was something that was talked about in the past during budgetary options. So.
I think the dispatch, Sean or Matt?
I think Veronica can handle that.
So yeah, establishing the senior level does allow for the future authorization of positions that can report to this individual. But at this time, there is no additional positions in the budget for the police department.
Thank you.
And what was the
Sully, good?
second question was? What's up? Oh, yeah, that doesn't pertain to this particular item. And so I can defer to Chief Elves on that item.
In the future, it's definitely part of the plans, just not at this moment during this budget cycle.
Okay, thanks, Salo. Okay, we said no one else on Zoom, right? Okay, so we have. Move, second? Second. Thank you. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Nope. Good, thank you very much. Okay, very good. Got through the agenda. City manager reports, Mr. Tully.
Yes, thank you. A couple things. So just to touch real quickly, we got notification that SafeWise, which is the organization that rates crime rates and statistics throughout California, has upgraded Lincoln from the 4th safest city in California to the 3rd safest city, which is pretty cool. And we had this kind of tongue-in-cheek discussion last time that depending on one of the cities above us, I believe, was Danville. And if you count Danville as Northern California, which I don't, we would be #1 in Northern California. But more seriously, what I think you've heard Chief and I kind of talk a little bit about crime statistics and this concept that, you live and die by them if you spend too much time obsessing over them. They're an important part, but they're not the only part of policing. But one interesting thing, if you believe in, the law of probabilities, is that the data indicates that in Lincoln, we have a violent crime instance of 0.9 per 1,000 residents. So what does that even mean? Well, the best way to think about it is it's roughly 4 times better than the state average of 4.24 violent incidents per 1,000 residents. So as I've said a bunch of times in other places, if you believe in that, then you're less likely to be a victim of violent crime in Lincoln than virtually almost anywhere else in California. And so it's a good place to be. The reason why I think it's important to highlight and, of course, be proud of isn't just that it's an achievement, but it kind of goes towards something that Stan Nader has mentioned a couple of times, and I know the council's talked about, that this is a great position to be in, but it doesn't remain this way just by having a great police department and doing what we're doing. Crime evolves and it changes as the culture of community shifts and changes. And so continuous investment in police and fire is super important. And we'll be having more discussions on that here very shortly. Only 2 other really quick updates. We have EDC tomorrow and a couple of interesting updates on our business support program, strategic planning. We are sending, for the first time, I believe, ever, 2 people. We're sending Daniela and first time, I believe, ever, one of our EDC committee members to the International Shopping Center Convention in Monterey, where they will go and try to work on a variety of different brands that we're interested in bringing into Lincoln and offer some various incentive programs that we have to incentivize them to attend here. You may recall I attended one last year. It was a really big one that almost was overwhelming on one person and probably 50,000 people in this place. So it sort of was tough to make a whole lot of progress there. This is a smaller, more specific and California-centered convention. And so it's a good place to be as an organization where you can send people to this proactively to try to get some of the retailers that the community has told us that they're interested in. So super excited about that. And then finally, just also kind of on the economic development / communication side, Aaron and Daniela have done a really good job, and they have submitted the city of Lincoln for a variety of different awards based on work that this council and previous have done over the years in kind of an effort to be a little better at not just completing something we're very proud of and then forgetting about it, moving on to the next thing. So our All-America City application is in. We'll hear about that later this month. We are submitting for at least 1, if not 2, Helen Putnam League of California City Awards, which is the most prestigious award you can receive as a jurisdiction in California. And then a few others, a couple of regional ones to Greater Sacramento Economic Council and another. So, and we, regardless of whether or not we're successful, it's been a worthwhile process to kind of go back and think about those projects and make sure that they continue to move along. One of them that we are submitting, we picked all kinds of different things we've done over the years, and you can contact me offline if you'd like to know the details. But one of them was the Village 7 school agreement, which is so different and unique that we thought it might be interesting for a reviewing body to consider. And along those lines, I just wanted to give council an update. We have a deadline approaching that I was reminded of, that we have to have joint use agreements in place. I think by late April is our deadline, maybe May. And so we've started those discussions. They're going super well with the school district, coming up with some interesting ideas about how to program the large multipurpose gym for city events and sports on those fields. And conversations have gone really well so far. So we'll hopefully have something to workshop with you at a future meeting to make sure that the temperature is what you think it is. And then we're going to expand beyond that as part of this process to redo all of our joint use with the school district, from pools to high schools to parks that we own. So and the library, of course, too. So we're going to be rewriting a lot of that to fix some things that don't work for either party and hopefully be able to move forward from there. That's all I have. If I had one other thing, I forgot it.
All good news. It's
Yeah,
okay.
good news.
That's not a little, that's a lot.
Oh, I can wait till we go to the next thing. I just wanted to add on to the third safest city. I have a story. So last week, I was at the joint government relations meeting at PCAR, and one of the Rockland council members stood up and introduced themselves and said, you know, Rockland was ranked one of the best places to live in the state or country or whatever, which is great. Everybody applauded, right? So after a little while, it came around to me and I stood up, introduced myself, and I said, well, until the new ranking comes out, Lincoln is still the 4th safest city in the state. And Tori was sitting there from the chamber and she looked it up right then. And then she was like the next person down from me. And she said, oh, and now the new rankings came out and now we're the 3rd, and the whole room just erupted. It was kind of cool.
Real time.
So I said, there you go.
Breaking news.
Yes, because I've been waiting for that to
Tori's
come
in the
out. So
background there.
very, yes, I know, yeah. I was like, Tori, you did that in real time. That was awesome. So that was kind of a cool moment, but I just want to say congratulations to police and fire. Like, that just is, that's not something to take lightly, and we're very, very proud of that. Yes, thank you. Thank you. And to your point, Sean, about Danville, the week before that, I spoke at the SIRS group for Lincoln, and I was sharing that we were the 4th safest city, that we were 7th, now we're 4th. And I said, the new one's coming out soon, but I don't know what it is. And I asked someone, how are you from the Bay Area? And some raised their hand. And I said, is Danville considered Northern California? They said, yes, of course it is. And I was like, darn, okay, so. So that was that. Anyway.
It's Bay Area. It's not
Bay
Nor-
Area,
it's
yes,
Bay
I
Area. It's
know,
not-
yeah. So can we go to initiated business?
Yes,
Because
ma'am.
okay,
Go
thanks.
ahead.
I just have one for initiated business. So a few weeks back, I brought up the topic of an entertainment zone for downtown. And so I was just wondering if we could workshop that, or if we've got talked about it. And even if we don't have the time to like get it in place like permanently, could we at least do a one-day thing for the Wine Fest coming up?
You
I
bet.
just wanted to bring
Yep.
that back up.
Yep, and we'll add that on to that. We probably don't need a whole workshop on that, but maybe we'll do a in-council meeting briefer workshop so that we can define what it looks like and
Okay, great.
move forward. But as far as Wine Fest goes, we'll work with them to make sure they have
Okay, great.
freedom.
Because,
There you go.
because Auburn and Loomis have them already.
Well, Loomis was working on it, but they
some
they
problems.
decided to table it because they had a few residents that complain about everything. So they're going to table it for right now, but the topic is still out there. But that doesn't mean that we can't do it. Like, yeah, but it's the thing happening these days. So, yeah,
Very good.
yep.
Very good.
And that's all I have, sir.
Thank you, Holly. Whitney,
I don't think I have any initiative business. No.
What was that?
our cheering section back there.
No, no,
That's the mayor's decision.
unless the mayor lets you, but.
Tori, come forward, please. I will not deny Tori.
I know, right?
I was in a meeting that Tom had me in. I don't even know what it was. But anyways, I was in a meeting, something on Zoom, and that was talked about in different counties. And so a gentleman that is on my laptop in the email in Sacramento, they have got that established. So I have a Zoom call with him next Friday between 1 and 2 to talk about that and see what they went in place, what the procedures were, so that I can bring that to you guys. So just want to let you know.
That would
Next
be
Friday.
helpful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Great, thank you.
John? Ben? Okay, good, okay. Committee reports. We'll start with the
I
right.
have
Holly?
nothing. I
Okay.
gave mine last time,
Okay,
so
you did?
yeah.
Everything this week.
Next week, we have Pioneer and the Airport Committee. Yes, thank you. And
EDC tomorrow and LAFCO's tomorrow.
We're always at LAFCO.
I know, seems like it.
Ben?
Nothing significant.
Okay.
Oh, and we have our Western Placer Unified School District 2x2,
Friday.
Friday.
Good. Information items. Something over there? Anything?
Oh, sure. I mean, we got a lot going on. Nonprofit wise, the meeting this afternoon, growing strong with Lincoln Serves and keeping.
Excellent. That's what, about close to 35 organizations in there. It's just fabulous.
35 to
Yeah.
40.
Yeah.
It's getting a lot of good traction.
Thank you, Ben. John? Why? Whitney?
I went to a fun event in Sacramento at Cal Expo for Verizon, and it kind of touches on everything that we were just talking about with what's going well with our public safety and why we're improving and succeeding in that area. I think one of the reasons why we're doing so well is that we are always looking at becoming more efficient, what new technologies are coming out. We embrace ways to do more with less. And that was what this whole forum was about. It was a disaster resilience forum, and there was a lot of different companies that were demoing their really cool new technologies. One of them is it detects lightning strikes really, really early on. There's a microgrid that gets deployed whenever there's a disaster, so people still have access to internet, and also the public safety has access. Robotics and drones. My favorite was the BurnBot, and it's this big robot. It's like a Roomba that clears fields out for debris, for fire mitigation and preparation. It's unmanned, and anyway, that was really cool. So anyway, learned a lot. There's a lot of things coming at us, technology.
Sounds like we're all good. Okay, everyone good? We're adjourned.
Mm-hmm.